moon is so cold and grows every night. You walk alone. The longest still is the weight of parents who may never know. Don't you walk alone, don't you stray from home. God only knows just who is waiting. Don't you raise your voice, don't make any noise. What a scary choice to be employed. We're afraid of everyone, we'll know whatever come and save us, save us. Well, when they say they could, I don't know how they could enslave us, erase us. I'll just wait here, someone should be by soon. I'm sure.
Welcome to the Clashuals podcast, episode 4, season 2, with our guest, Ghostnite.
All right, guys, what's up?
I don't know what to say.
Neither do I.
Hey, I gotta mix up the intros, man. It can't be the same shit. So
Well,
let's do some intros. Obviously, our guest is Ghostnite. You want to introduce yourself?
welcome
Ghostnite?
Ghostnite for his first time ever recording a Clashuals podcast ever in his life.
Facts.
It's the first one ever.
First
He's
one.
he's never done this before. He's never recorded a podcast with Adams before. So that's the first
Never.
time ever.
Never before.
Despite what Rick would tell you, this is his first time on the podcast, right, Adams?
Facts.
Right,
First
Adams?
night. First night on the pod. Let's go, baby.
Welcome,
All right, Ghostnite. Thank you.
We'll
for being
go
a
with
guest.
we'll go with the first night on the pod.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, man. What? Come on. Let me turn you guys up a little bit. All right. You guys ready to get into some topics, or you want to do a little talky talk?
Let's. Well, you gotta warm us up first, Adams. Okay.
Put the
Yeah.
lube on the hand and give you guys a little jerky.
You gotta ask
be
me
gentle.
nicely.
Gotta be gentle. All right, Ghost Knight. First off, how'd you get into Clash of Clans? Let's get into the deep shit.
Got started actually when my dad was playing, and then I just
Oh.
kind of downloaded it, and I had been in his clan forever.
Does your
Kinda-
dad still play? Please tell me he does.
He does, not as much as obviously I do.
Okay.
He plays. He has 2 accounts. I was in his clan. I left for a little while, started my own clan,
Okay.
ran that for a little bit, came back, and then I took a few years break, and then started getting active again. And then about a year after that, I ended up joining the C2J
Okay.
Discord.
Nice.
Now, to be clear, what brought you to the C2J Discord?
The podcast actually did.
Was it
Oh.
their podcast?
Yeah, because
Okay.
you guys didn't have yours yet.
Oh, okay. So you had to, wait around for the good stuff,
Yep.
right?
Because I started listening to their podcast probably October of last year.
Okay.
Oh, good. So you missed some of the early episodes when they were struggling mightily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I listened to theirs, Heroes.
Okay. Okay. So now that you've listened to theirs for so long, and you listen to ours, who's the better podcast?
Oh man, we're
Right on
getting
the
in.
spot, baby.
Let me go get my waders on. It's getting deep.
Is it one of those answers where if you're alone in your car, like Clash was pretty fun to listen to, but if there's other people around and they're gonna be wondering what the hell you're listening to, I better have C2J on because at least they just sound like they're talking normal.
Definitely don't know what Adam's gonna say and be like, you guys didn't hear that.
Yeah.
No,
Before you start the Clash podcast, what do? It's stop,
Right.
look left, look right. Is anyone else listening? All right, hit play.
Well, I mean, I do listen to all the podcasts while I'm at work. I'll say I do not listen to them on the loudspeaker. Make sure I have headphones
no.
in.
I mean,
Five
yeah,
rules.
and I get that part of that, because we're not near as family friendly here as some of the other podcasts. But then also too, it's like, how much judgment do you really want? Like, oh man, you listen to a podcast. What is it? Like true crime? Is it sports? Some cool story? Like, no, it's about Clash of Clans. Like,
Other than Clash of Clans, I listen to a ton of true crime podcasts.
Yeah,
see,
and I gave him a good recommendation that he liked.
Mm-hmm.
So answer your
unless
question.
if you're not like just super political, like true crime podcast is probably what you're listening to. If it's not, if
Yeah.
it's not for some political reason, that's probably number 2 as far as what people are going to podcasts
Mhm.
for.
Yeah.
While you drink your pumpkin spice latte and your UGG boots.
So what's the answer there, Bubba?
Uh,
No judgment.
you guys both have your pros and differences to each other's podcasts. Well, I mean, although I would have to say right now, it's obviously have to be you guys. I'm on here, so
Let's
Eat shit,
go.
Carl.
Okay, another one. Which one makes you laugh more?
oh,
Gotta be us. I guarantee it. We have the E for we
Oh
can
my
cuss.
gosh, stop self-promoting, Adams. It's our own podcast, all right? Like, we don't need to promote ourselves anymore. Like, anyone who listens to this is already here.
Yeah, true.
But also, it's fine to say the best episodes are when we're all together.
that is true. I do
That's the
like
sports one answer.
that last episode where you both were on there.
Yeah, when
The
it was
first sober episode was super
C2J
nice.
podcast owned by the Clashuals.
Yeah, right. We took control of that shit, or I did.
So
It was wasted.
Dad got you into clashing.
Yep.
I'm assuming, like most people, you probably start off with one account.
Yep.
Weren't sure what you were doing.
Yep. Actually, I did not make my second account until last year, probably right around October when I started listening to the C2J podcast. So I ended up buying an iPad.
So they convinced you to branch out and get a second account.
I mean, I always wanted to. At that point, I was still in my dad's clan, which I was like the only active person, so it was horrible. You ever tried doing clan games on your own? It's real sad.
Is it kind of one of those things where like you've resisted because you enjoy the game, but it's for you, right? And other people like, hey, what's he always doing on his phone? Like, oh, he's playing a mobile game. Like, he's not even playing a console or a PC game. It's a mobile game. And so for a while when you first got it, because this was with me too, right? Like when I first started, it was like, all right, it's cool, but I don't know how many people I want to know that I'm this invested in a mobile game.
Right.
Well,
But the second you start, like, once you've accepted that, all right, I'm going to listen to Clash podcasts, like you're already in it. So creating a second account at that point is like, I'm embracing it, right? There's no turning back now. I'm listening to podcasts about this game. Might as well have like 6 accounts now, right?
Yeah. I mean, now I got 4, so they're
tell me,
slowly building up.
What are the levels of your accounts right now?
Well, I got a 14 that's actually currently going to 15. Got 2 days left.
Hell yeah.
Let's go, baby.
I got a 12, an 11, and then a 7.
Okay.
So are they all progressing at the same time, or are you slow playing any of those?
I haven't been focusing on the 7 too much just because, it's in the DL. And we haven't been doing nothing over there, so...
It's where?
In the good old DL there.
What's
I don't know what that clan
Adams on? What is that? What's he talking about?
What's the DL, dude?
The C2J Dick Lips clan.
Oh,
yeah, the Dickless clan.
I got kicked out of that clan because they didn't like me. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. So all right. So I know we're doing the intro, but I feel like we should just go ahead and tell this story since last night. For those of you listening, or anyone who's going to be listening to the recording, there was a episode of CJJ recorded last night, which for all the shade we give him was actually a lot of fun. It had Steve-O and Rick on it. But there's been a lot of turmoil around Steve's leadership or lack thereof, and I've certainly enjoyed giving him a hard time about it. But I think we should go ahead and tell this story, Adams, about what we did during C2 or during CWL. I mean, that's That's
a good
probably
story.
okay. So Steve was really wanting the clan to demote because when he created it, he made a horrible decision early on to try to pack the lineup for the first CWL spin, which we had small accounts. Your Town Hall 7, right?
Yeah.
Like I had my minis in there, and he decided that he was going to get all these 12s and I think some 13s and was going to spin the first CWL, which, if you don't know, it's CWO, the first time that you spin in a clan, it's based off of your war weight, right?
Yeah.
It spins you about where they think you're going to be competitive. Well, most of those accounts that spun weren't normal accounts in that clan. So it spun heavy. It spun us into crystal, and we didn't have accounts that near, or maybe even just gold. Anyway, wherever it ranked us, we're way underqualified to be there. So Steve's correction, or his leadership plan to correct this, was to have us demote. Well, listen, I've got some accounts that I'm actually still farming over there. So, my thought was, okay, fine, we can demote, but I'm still going to collect those stars first.
Yeah.
Well, that made Steve big mad. Like he got sand all in his vagina over it.
Nice.
And, 2 days in, like he is cursing us up and down, talking about stop attacking. And we're like, we're losing. What's the big deal? Well, some of the other clans were doing the same thing in that CWL. So even though we had collected a whopping like 8 stars over the first 2 days, we were like third from the bottom, so we weren't going to demote. So Steve makes this big deal about no more attacking, which to me is just why are we playing the game if we don't attack?
Yep.
Anyway, so we were going to stop attacking. Well, of course, Adams, who has no filter, got in chat. And what did you tell him? What did you tell him, Adams, when he said stop attacking?
I don't even remember. It's so long ago. I think it says like it's pointless to demote, or no, it's pointless to stop attacking. We're all lower. It's my town hall 10. I'm trying to upgrade it, right? So I said I'm gonna attack regardless. I don't care what you think. Something around
Yeah.
those words. I don't exactly remember.
I think his exact words were "fucking, I'm still gonna attack."
Yeah, fuck fuck it. I'm still gonna attack. And then I remember, I think it was on like the third or fourth day. I think it was the fourth day because Steve leadership shucks. Notice I attacked on the third day and fourth day, kicks me out, and says, "Deal with that." I was like, okay. And then Big B invites me to the clan, did my last hit, and then kicks us both out.
I had thought about reinviting.
See, right? Like when the leader's acting like a stuck up bitch like that, like you kind of want to mess with him, right? So
Not
of
gonna
course,
lie, I tripled last day.
Yeah, let's go, Ghostnite. Let's go. That's awesome.
Anyway, so after Adams got kicked, I I did invite him back, and of course, that made Steve really mad. Now, in my defense, since it's the DL and it's the worst clan ever created, I'm not paying attention to clan chat. Like when he pinged me to say stop attacking, I didn't even realize that no one else had been attacking. I knew we were trying to demote, but I'm like, okay, well, I'm hitting like the lowest bases on the map, so we're gonna demote regardless. I hadn't looked at the rest of the CDBO. I didn't care.
Yeah.
But when he said stop attacking, I'm like, cool. Well, when I noticed that Adams wasn't in there, I was like, because it doesn't show that he got kicked, right? It's that he left. So I was like, all right, this must have been a joke or something, or Adams was like donating somewhere else or farming. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna invite him back. So I invited him back, and Johnny on the spot over there, what'd he do? He went in and did exactly what he promised, and he attacked during the CWL.
Yep.
So then Steve, of course, poor leadership, kicks me out of the clan. Kicks me, and not just me, all 3 of my accounts. So
Well,
I don't think I'm going back to the don't listen clan.
Well, you know what's funny about that too is like, and then at the end he fucking added you and said, "Hey, if you want to get those 8 stars, you can come back and attack." I was like, "Really, Steve?"
So with one of the accounts, that's it.
So you sorry, what did you say?
I did. I went back
Yeah.
and attacked like a Town Hall 8 and then bounced again.
So I have the the 2 Town Hall 5s I have, one for the Void Boy Challenger, which I epically failed at.
You're only at Town Hall 5?
I haven't messed with those accounts. So one of them is in a CF or ClashFan9 friendly war only clan, and then I took my Rushed 11, my 10, my other 5, and made another CF9 clan so we can do friendly wars. I was like, fuck it. I don't give a shit about the DL clan. First of all, wasted our time picking the name. We all know Rick didn't converse you. You woke up and, oh, we're gonna be the DL clan. It's a great name. It's trash. You're shitty at leadership. I do love you, Steve, but it's time to give the lighting the throne to someone else who can actually be a better leader. Fuck demoting. Let's get those fucking medals for those clans trying to farm. Let's go.
I'm still
I do think
trying.
I'm at the point to where I'm over hating Steve. Like, I think we've punished him enough. Like,
Well, yeah, I
it's
mean,
fine. Plus, he did say last night that he would, in a zombie apocalypse, one of his weapons he'd take was a dragon. Which I know he only said that as the olive branch to me because he knows I'm a Game of Thrones fan. I love dragons, so I get it, and I understood that. I understood exactly what he said when he meant that. So we're gonna stop hating Steve
well, yeah,
as much as we have previously. But I'm still never going to a clan that he runs.
facts.
I'm
He
still
gets
trying
my
to figure out
friendly,
why
but I am
I'm
never.
only an elder.
Well,
Do
you should
what?
just leave it.
Oh, I'm still trying to figure out why I'm only an elder in that clan, where the rest of them I'm a co-leader.
Because your leader doesn't pay attention. Anyway.
Steve, we love you, but you're a shitty leader. Anyway, you guys ready to get into the topics? That
No, because we're not done with the intro
Oh,
for Ghost. Okay.
sorry.
All right. So where were we? We were talking about you've got your Town Hall 7 and
Yep.
the clan that won't be named, that which we
Yep.
won't talk about.
And then the rest of them are in the academy.
Okay.
So tell me, what is it like playing in the academy? Obviously, our opinion is a little bit different, right?
Mhm.
Because we our interactions level with most of these people is a little bit different. So when you first get into academy, when did you first join the academy? Let's start there.
I want to say it was around June I joined the academy.
So you're joining the academy post the 32 war win streak,
No,
right?
I was in the 32 win streak.
So
it
you were
might have been-
towards the end of it?
Yes.
Because it was
We
most of
were
the spring
at-
and into the summer.
We were at like 24 when I joined.
Okay. I remember that.
So
I don't
what
remember
was
you
it
joining.
like joining the clan amongst all of those god attackers like me and Fatal and
Me.
It was
that was the first time away from your dad's clan? Is that
Yeah.
right?
other than
Okay.
having just my own.
Oh,
So you went from Dead Clan to like World's Greatest Clan. So what was that like when you first made the switch?
It was actually a lot to kind of take in, just seeing all these different attacks, other than just going on YouTube and trying to find different attacks to do.
okay. And then seeing all the OP, how active the clan is, probably like, oh,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, it was like nice. It was like, oh, I don't have to donate to myself necessarily.
right?
Oh,
it's
I'm
nice.
actually going to
It's nice.
get rewards from clan games. There's a point of me doing it.
right?
Oh, there's a second tier in clan games? Oh my god.
What's also good about the academy and C2J is if you don't do clan games, we have so many people that are gonna finish them for you. So you just do a few.
You mean
still
I
get
can
the
actually
reward.
participate in CWL and finally, for the first time, get medals?
Oh man,
The
did you
medals
do
are pretty
CWL?
sexy once you get to like,
Yeah.
when you got enough to like
Yeah.
get some of those skins.
That was like the final
Skins.
push. It was like, I'm missing CWL. I'm missing a lot of these medals. I can be upgrading so much faster.
True.
And all you got to do is find a clan where you can mooch
Mhm.
some stuff like I do. I don't do
Yeah, exactly.
clan
Right?
game. Although I will say for the anniversary I maxed out clan games on multiple accounts. Just throwing down some baby drags on the builder base and then force closing. Like I can 45 minutes I can do all clan games for an account like that.
Oh, okay.
Hey, do you do that trick, Ghostnite, for clan games?
Actually, I just kind of go for the big score stuff, and I just
Hell yeah.
come out real quick.
You try hard.
So
Yeah.
you go for the one like use a super troop and you get like 1,500 things. And
Yep.
yeah, that's what I do. I try to
A
get
lot of
get those
times I'll
stats.
just
Oh, so
make a
y'all are the
goal.
reason that none of those are available for the rest of us, huh? Thanks
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, as
You're
soon as they're
welcome.
available, I train up an army, get it done, boom.
A lot of times I'll just throw that troop into my clan castle and donate it to myself.
Yep. And make sure you have enough so you can get the
hmm
yeah.
Oh, I need one super giant, and I guess the rest I'm gonna do as a Sarge blimp.
Yeah. Okay.
So you mentioned when you first joined the attack style. So
hmm
before you joined, where did you get your attacking strategy from? Like, was it from YouTube? Was it someone you watched? And then has
YouTube.
it changed since you joined?
YouTube. So I was kind of talking a little bit earlier about this with some people, and pretty much from Town Hall 11 to 13 to when I started 14 to when I joined, I was doing Queen Charge Hybrid all the
That's
way
a good
through.
one. That's a
Yep.
good one to learn because you start trying to do queen charge anything later on, like
hmm
that's the best place to learn it.
Yeah, once I get to 15 and get the Queen up more and the healers, I want to try to get Queen Charge Lalo down just
No,
for attacking.
you lost me.
So
I know I
here's
lost.
yeah, well, I
I
mean
hate Lolo.
that's not hard to lose, Adams.
Facts. I just hate Lalo. Lalo is
So
fucking
you haven't done Lalo yet, but you want to get there, right?
Actually, my second account, that's pretty much strictly all I do is Lalo.
okay.
So you're forcing it in, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Nice.
So have you done that like at Town Hall 11? Have you tried
Yep.
the Lalo?
Yep.
See,
I did it all the way
that's
through
where
11, doing it through 12 right now.
11's the last place that I enjoyed doing it because after that and I messed it up too much.
Yeah.
Like it's tough because when you watch, like it's one of those attacks, like when you watch other people do it, you think that, all right, we need a certain amount of value with this, we need a certain amount of value with that. And then after that, like, oh man, the rest of it is just, let the loons take over the rest and
Mhm.
send the hounds away to tank. And it's actually not. Like there's a lot more coordination with the law that looks simple when you watch people who know what they're doing do it. But what
Mhm.
you don't realize is they've practiced so many times it's just second nature, like
Yeah.
where to lay it down. And actually still what changes the most is usually the entry, right? It's the queen charge part. But but you're not doing queen charge right now with the
Nope.
14, right?
Nope.
So
I
what attack are you doing with the big account?
I decided after watching you in a couple wars, I'd copy you and
Oh,
start doing Hydra.
let's go.
So that's what I've been rocking with. Wars, Legends. It works out pretty good. I've been tripling quite a bit, 15s.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And you use a Sarch blimp entry, right?
Yep.
See, I went away from most of the Sarch entry just because it seemed like, and you see, because you've got an account that you go up in Legends, or you try to, right? Even though
I would
or you
say
did.
I sit in Legends normally on the 14.
And
I
see,
hit
that's
pretty high last for 14. I hit 5400 last season.
pretty
Pretty
good.
good. Yeah.
So that's actually really good for 14. But what you get when you get up that high is all of a sudden you start seeing all the bases that are baited for your Sarch blimp.
You just got to force them in.
Just gotta force it in.
hmm
Perfect.
Well,
Game.
I stopped doing the search because I got tired of getting baited too many times, and when that happens, you got no spells left if you ruin your Sarge blimp. Like
that is very true.
so I switched to just a Blizzard Hydra because even if I get baited, I still got some spell support to recover a little bit, but it's working out okay. Ish.
I just don't like the Blizzard just because if there ain't any base like stuff to chain off, it's hard to get good percentage.
Ah, see, I will bring a clone spell in with it, so that if there's not enough to chain off of, I'll clone up the super wizards so that they'll move to where there is. And occasionally it works.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Sometimes I'm just glad that I've got a rage and a freeze left over for the
Right.
rest of the stuff. Usually, if I miss a town hall, I can still find a way to get it. Usually.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh gosh, Fatal's telling us he's giving us Lalo tips.
He said,
Come on, Fatal, read the room. We
Dog
don't really
is
want to talk
greater
about
than
Lalo.
yeah, we fuck Lalo. Right. We did the intro. Let's get into some of these topics.
Oh, is that it for the intro?
Unless you want to go more.
So Ghostnite mentioned how revolutionary it was
Uh-huh.
to join the academy and see all just those crazy attacks.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, for the members of the academy, in your opinion, Ghostnite,
Mm-hmm.
of the members of the academy who are in there and in pretty much 100% of all of the wars and never flip flop and never definitely leave and say, hey, as soon as you get the streak back up, I'll be back to help out. Excluding all of those players, in your opinion, who's the most valuable asset to the academy from a player standpoint besides yourself?
Beside myself,
And
since
aside from those guys that just, are only in there, when there's a streak going on and they want to,
yeah,
soak up
I'd
all the
say
glory.
probably you're one of the top players currently.
Oh,
One of?
who's
Yeah.
oh,
I mean, I'd say Knob's pretty good with his 13, and
Oh my God.
wow. You just killed it. Right when you said
I
Knob.
know. Hey,
I know I'm not one. I suck at 14.
Knob's great. If you want a time fill.
Oh.
Shots fired.
can't
Alright,
say
he's
too
not even
much. I recently have been getting those time fails on those 15s, but I do have the
You're-
flex. Last War, I did wipe out number 4, which was a 15.
Oh, okay.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Even though
So
we lost every war.
listen, before I joined C2J, so pretty similar to you. I listen to the podcast. Always like the guys, like the community. Always listen to all the stuff they got into. I always heard, oh yeah, Knob's OP, and then I would see his attacks. I'd be like, he's all right. I mean, he does have like the funniest ways of failing at time, but when he's on, he's on. But I realized quickly that the reason why everyone is so over the top, always talking about the Magic Knob is OP, is because once you spend some time around him, once you learn more about him, you realize everything good that he does from an iPhone 4.
Oh,
I mean, he's got the smallest display screen imaginable to play from. So when his stuff works, I mean, he's got to have the smallest fingers in the world in order to have that precision, and tapping the screen when he does it. So that's the knob OP thing. That's why it's not just what he does; it's how he does it. Honestly, so I won't fault you for mentioning Knob as one of the next tier players in the academy. So touche.
touche.
All right, Adams. Now,
Alright.
now I think that's 30 minutes in. I think that's a good intro.
Okay.
I think
So-
everyone knows who Ghost is now.
Yeah.
For those
Everyone in the
first time
comments
listeners out there.
Yeah. Ghost Knight's OP. He totally wasn't on the Clashuals podcast before. Okay. Ghost Knight, you did the first topic. You wanna read your topic?
Sure.
Oh, this
do you
is
guys-
a topic that you picked
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
There's two.
I
And Adam's just handing
contributed
over
it.
the keys to the Ferrari here, just like here.
Yeah, I did.
take it
Just
over.
here you
Hey.
go.
What do you guys think? Should the research potion and the pet potion be combined, or should they actually keep them separate?
Ooh. I honestly I think they should just combine them. Just the research potion should do. I don't even know why they introduced the pet potion just to make it more harder to upgrade your pets. Obviously, I only have the Yak and Lassie, so I had to do it the original way and just wait for it. But yeah, I agree. I think they should combine them because I think the pet potion is fucking useless. Usually, I just sell it off to get those gems, regardless of what I'm. Even if I'm upgrading the Phoenix and I have it, I'll just sell it off. I'm not gonna sit there and use it. It's pointless. So they should. I think they should.
I actually liked the idea of having him separate. Not specifically because I get it. It would have been a lot easier just to double dip, to be able to do one potion and get both things going. But they are separate buildings doing separate things. So my general idea is that we need more individualized potions, books, magic items in general. Like I wish that there were like the same type of books
Uh-huh.
that were only for the builder hall. Because when the books are good for either or, I won't use them on anything but the main village because I'm so paranoid that there's gonna be a surprise update tomorrow. I'm gonna need 50 books of everything to get everything maxed out. And if I use any of these on the builder base, I'm not gonna have enough. Even though it's completely irrational thinking.
Yeah.
However, everything that's a more specific magic item, I think is good for the game. Plus, the more you saturate magic items, the more it seems like the game kind of loosens their reins and say, all right, we're going to have more ways of obtaining magic items from just playing the game, either doing an event, doing a challenge, doing something like that. So I'm okay with them having separate potions for those, just because I'm in general in favor of them having a plethora of magic items. If you can oversaturate the market, then naturally more things are going to spill out for free for the the free to play players. And I'm also the core of my motivation honestly is that the game free to play players taking years to get to like a Town Hall 15 level. I think that convinces too many people who could really enjoy it to not grind to get there. So anything you can do to help get people to the end faster, easier, cheaper is good for me. It might not be good for selling stuff in the game, but it's good for me. And anything that's gonna get more stuff, more magic items out there, I generally like it. So having separate potions for that, that's cool. The Star Jar, even though like I've got too many of them and don't use them, the fact that they're there, I think, is a good thing. I wish they had more stuff. Like I wish that there were something like that for Clan Capital, because I mean part of the reason why I spend way too much in the game is I hate waiting for upgrades. Like that's the whole business model that Supercell makes money off of, and they've got me hook, line, and sinker. Like I am bought into that, baby. In Clan Capital, there is no way to book an upgrade or to skip upgrade times or the loot required to get it, other than everyone's got to go in there and grind and everyone's got to dump it in. And even if you got 50 counts doing that every week, there's only so far you can get each week.
Yeah.
No, if there was a way to bypass some of those upgrades, even for Clan Capital, probably do it.
Okay.
I got a spending problem. It's known. It's a known thing.
What about you?
Yeah, I try not to spend too much.
What about you, Ghostnite? What do you think?
Part of me, it'd be kind of just nice if they combined them, just for the fact of maybe they'd give you a little bit more of them.
Okay.
But I do see a reasoning why they're separate. But it would be super nice if they would be in the raid metal shop all the time. So I noticed they cycle them out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
Listen, I've got to tell you, like, on most of my accounts, other than maybe like 2 of them, every single slot for every single potion is full. Like I've got all those permanent max accounts. Like there's like at a Town Hall 11, it's always going to be an 11, or 12, it's always a 12. Like on those, all the storage for those is maxed out. So I've not looked at like, oh, what are the other ways of getting potions? Additional potions like spending gems on them, or like the raid mails. Like I don't, none of that on any of them.
Yeah.
And the big accounts where I make purchases all the time, I've got overflowing storages of all the potions, even the dadgum star jars too. And I don't look at it that way. But I will say the one thing that I don't keep like overflown with are the shovels.
Mm-hmm.
If they, and I've said this so many times, like when they changed the shovel to where, all right, once you use it to move something, you can move it all the time. And they had that deal. I don't know if you took advantage of this, but like it was like, all right, 99 cents, you can just buy a shovel. And then once you bought it, it was instantly there again. And you could do that. Like you could buy like 5 shovels at a time, or you could just keep, I think at one point you could do like 10 or 15 shovels. I did that with a couple of accounts where I just had so many obstacles that I hadn't been able to move for years. But with raid metals, where I've got no use for any other potions, if shovels were in the raid medals every week, I'd buy shovels with it every week on some of these accounts.
Same here. I have so many holiday event items that I've
Yes.
been waiting for shovels. Like I even have like a lot of the birthday cakes all lined up by the year.
Oh, what's so?
So I've got a 14 that's just it's got obstacles from like years and years ago. It was
Mhm.
one of those accounts that like I had and I played and I actually for a long time, this is back I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. I had it at Town Hall 9 and it just stayed at Town Hall 9 even when the game had like got to Town Hall 12. Like I kept it there just cuz I liked Town Hall 9 and I never removed obstacles on it. I think like the first year I had it I removed some and I regret that, but most of them are still there. But there's so many of them now that they won't all fit.
Mm.
And I have used every chance. Every time you can buy a shovel, I go on that account and buy one, right? No matter what it costs or what it's with. If it's in a pack that's like $30 or $50 and it's one shovel with like a whole bunch of other stuff, I buy everything just to get the shovel. I still have like 25 obstacles on that base that I still need to move. Like Supercell, can you just give me like okay, charge me $50 for 25 shovels? I'll buy it tomorrow, okay? I gotta get this done. I gotta get all this stuff moved. And if it were in the raid medals, that's all I'd ever buy
Right.
with them, other than donating to myself. Why can't we
I
get shovels
usually
back
just
in the
sell them for
Supercell?
money.
Listen to us
Listen. All right. I usually sell mine off, by the way.
for the gems.
Yep.
That breaks
None of
my
my
heart.
If I ever got into a pinch, right? If I sold off all the extra potions I had in like either the 15s,
Oh, you'd have a
I,
shit ton of gems.
I probably and I even as bad as the exchange rate is on potions, I've probably got 5,000 gems worth of potions, extra potions.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
That's kind of sad when I say it like that.
Right. All right. This is Ghostnite's other topic. Thoughts
Oh,
on a new balance to capital. What do y'all think? Big B, I'll send it to you.
you're gonna go to me first.
Oh yeah, because it's Ghostnite's topic. He already has it loaded in his head.
Clan capital. I hate. I saw this visual on Twitter the other day, and I hated it so much. And it showed where the housing space for the original graveyard spell, like when it first came out, that you got more skeletons with a level 1 graveyard spell when it first launched.
Mm-hmm.
You got more skeletons then than you do with a max skeleton spell, or I'm sorry, graveyard spell now. Because they've nerfed it 4 times. And I'm sorry, I know that for whatever reason, the analytics that Supercell is looking at with Clan Capital say, we want more balance. They want to bring balance to the force, right? Perfectly balanced as all things should be. And so they keep nerfing it to try to bring it more in line and try to convince people to diversify what they're using in Clan Capital. And I'm sorry, like Supercell just you should embrace it. You should embrace the dark side.
Next.
You should keep the graveyard spell as overpowered because the majority of your player base that's playing Clan Capital, they're doing it for the rewards, not because of the incredible gameplay. And I'm not poo-pooing on the gameplay. Like I can enjoy it when I have time to do it, but it is not the same as the main village. And no one needs to be putting that much time and energy into it. The leaderboards for Clan Capital, there's so few people out there that pay attention to that and are motivated by it.
Yep.
And it's fine that they are, but that's not the majority of players. And this whole strategy to try to get players in Clan Capital to use different troops, different strategies, and the whole everything they did, like they nerfed some defenses, they buffed some other troops. Everything that they've done to try to balance it, it's very forced. And I just feel like we've talked about on our show so many times the number of things that we think that they can do to help the game. We did a whole episode after the last Town Hall 15 update, and it was called State of the Clash Union. By the way, if you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to it. Apple, Spotify, they're on there.
Sweet plug.
But we ended that episode with these are the things Supercell really needs to do to help the state of the game. And not a single one of them gave a shit about Clan Capital, right? Quite frankly, it is where it is. It probably is where it needs to be, and leave it alone. The fact that they've put any time and energy into buffs and nerfs in that gameplay, it feels more and more like, oh, the creators, the developers of the game, they're in their own world. They're not paying attention to what the community actually wants. Otherwise, they wouldn't have spent so much time trying to figure out, oh, the super dragon needs an extra 200 hit points, and the spear throwers need to have 20 less hit points. Like, spear throwers, the easiest defense in Clan Capital. Like, why are you putting thought and energy into taking, like, you can have way too much analysis on stuff, and whoever's looking at the analytics for Clan Capital and the fact that they're spending time on it, I'm just like, let's stop doing it.
Right.
But and quite frankly, I would get over all of that if they would just leave my precious graveyard spell alone, and they're not.
Yeah.
It's kind of Supercell. You're kind of starting to piss me off. Okay, leave the graveyard spell alone. But it's because it's Clan Capital. That's it. Adams, what do you think? Are they? And don't just copy what I said.
No, honestly, I suck ass at the capital raids.
At Clash of Clans.
Oh yeah, true. Still, I still hold
got
the
him.
2-star champ. You know, I gave myself anyway.
Bruh.
Don't say bruh to me. Don't pull a Carl. Say bruh every time. Okay.
Bruh.
I still hold the 2-star champ. I don't care what anyone says. I'm gonna get a belt when I get enough money. It's gonna be remove this. It's gonna be right here. It's gonna say 2-star champ. I'll show it every time. I'll even wear it around my titties. Anyway, I suck at capital raids. I think on my 15, I wasted like all 5 attacks on whatever. I'm just here to get the raid medals and dip. Okay. I do agree with you, Big B, when you say they need to just stop fucking with it and concentrate on the main village because that's where you're gonna get most of the content from. I didn't look at the patch notes or anything, but yeah, honestly, I don't really give a shit. Just stop fucking with spells I use. Thank you. What about you, Ghost Knight? This was your topic, so.
I mean, I could see them nerfing the skeleton spell just because it's pretty much the only attack you use. Let's all just be honest. I'm waiting for them to just be like, we're tired of decreasing the skeletons, and we're just gonna increase how many spell space it takes. And I know it's gonna upset Big B over there, but I'm just waiting for it to happen. Even though I like using the skeleton spell as well, or the graveyard spell there. If they do any more balancing, it'd just be kind of nice if they would just completely just be like, oh, we're gonna buff something as much so it gives you guys a new meta.
Okay. We don't
Is
need a
there-
new meta for capital, by the way.
I was gonna say, is there anyone really concerned with what the meta is in Clan Capital, or I guess, but should there even be a meta for Clan Capital, right?
Well,
like, if you can't graveyard it and either do the hog gang or the super wizards with all the battle rams, if you can't do one of those two, like Dragon Cliffs, then it's sneaky archers and rages. Like it's pretty much one of the two, something that's graveyard based or something that's sneaky based.
Yeah,
like that's kind of, and I think it's okay. I know there's some people out there who do they'll do the rockets or the what are they called, the rapid blimp, whatever it's called, and the super dragons. And then I hear about people doing inferno dragons, especially on Dragon Cliffs, where they can take them down. But I mean, those are so niche and such a such a small part of the people playing Clan Capital. Like,
Yeah.
why are you trying to get more people to do that?
Well, that brings me a point. I was listening to the Reddit Talks Clash, by the way. If you don't listen to them, go give them a follow. They were OP. They gave me a sweet shout out their last episode. It's probably edited out. But Rick apparently can 2-star any base and 2-hit, not 2-star, 2-hit any base in capital and 3-hit the the capital base, like the main base, whatever the capital hall.
Using what strategy?
I don't remember what he said, but apparently to him he can the update to him doesn't matter because he's still OP apparently.
He's still spamming graveyard spells.
Probably.
Although on a different note, I mean, they took the housing space for the frost spell from 4 to 3, which I guess means now it'll get used to never, ever being used ever at all in any attack ever to maybe once every millionth attack it'll get used. Right. So congratulations. Why the hell would a frost spell be for housing space?
I didn't even know that was a fucking thing in Capital Raid until you mentioned it.
Well, so when we remember we did a casual game of Jeopardy, Adams.
Yeah.
That was one of the questions. What spell has the highest housing space in the game? And you all missed it because none of you guys are as smart when it comes to Clash as I am. And everyone said the clone spell. No, it was the frost spell because for some reason the frost spell was for housing space. How do you want to make sure that no one ever uses a spell? Give it 4 housing space. Jesus Christ.
Oh, Steve's in chat. All right.
Who?
Steve's in the chat. Oh no, I'm not supposed to read it, but I did anyway. This is another Ghostnite topic, but he said, tips for Ghostnite as a new Town Hall 15. Ooh. Get ready for the meta, Bubba. That's all I gotta say. We were talking a little bit before you joined, Big B, and I told him it's kind of the basics when you're first going to a new town hall. You know, see clan cap or CC army camps. Upgrade the troops you use first, and then go from there. I kind of give him those little tips. And what tips would you have for him being a new 15?
I mean, we've said this before, but and I'm sure you've heard this too, but level 1 Diggy is better than level anything Lassie. So if you're looking like at the priority things, you're gonna when you upgrade your pet house, right? Yeah, I think Frosty's the first one, but then second one is Diggy. Mm-hmm. So prioritize after the town hall is done, get to the Diggy and start using it because it adds life back to your RC at the end of attacks. It changes. Like one of the toughest things is if you were sending an RC, especially if it's one of those attacks where you're holding her towards the end and sending her in. If there's a single target Inferno, like RC was done every time. Now, actually, you can prioritize sending her towards a single target Inferno because if she's got the Diggy on her, he's going to stun, and before that beam latches on and kills Diggy, RC will have it down. Mm-hmm. Completely changes that part of it. Plus, if she happens to be in a group and they come up on a monolith, which you've probably seen some in Legends.
Every day.
Yeah. A Diggy stun on a monolith can be attack change. It can change how your attack ends up. So I'd say first and foremost, let's get Diggy and get it going. Second, I mean, this is just generally my stance on most progressions is find an attack that you can do that you feel comfortable with that is elixir troop based, and after you upgrade, prioritize getting those troops up to the level, and then after that pour all of your dark elixir into heroes because the change in heroes at 15 is pretty significant, especially now it's 10 levels on everything. Mm-hmm. So those heroes, I mean, especially like some of the hit points that they get, it could be pretty big difference, especially depending on which bases you're going up against. So, and then I would say too, if you fell off of doing queen charges or practicing queen charges at Town Hall 14, which I didn't do a whole lot, if you get the queen finished, you get her up to level 90, and you've upgraded your healers, go ahead and start trying to do queen charges at 15 again. I know with the monolith, it's tough. But if you're not at the monolith and you're somewhere else on the base, all of a sudden, honestly, I feel like for as broken as the meta was at 14 overall, I feel like the queen charge at 15, or the 15 is a little more conducive to allowing queen charges than 14 was. So once you get the queen done and the healers done, start dabbling, start putting in the rotation. Maybe not every hit. And in Legends, it's going to be hit and miss. You're going to find bases like this is good for queen charge, and you're going to find bases this is bad for queen charge. And inevitably, no matter what happens, once you hit upgrade to 10 off 15, and Legends, whichever army you have cooked, you will find a base that's not conducive for that. That's just how it happens. I have two 15s, and for the longest time when I was trying to get really good at like Zap E-Titans earlier on in the meta, I had them cooked on one account, and then I had Hydra on the other. And I only wanted to use the Zap E-Titans on box bases because that's what I understood the best with that strategy. Like I had free idea on how I was going to map everything out. And then everything else I felt really good about forcing in a Hydra attack too. And inevitably when that happened with Zap E-Titans, I never saw box bases. And with Hydra, I only saw box bases.
Huh.
So just be prepared for that. Don't put too much stock in your Legends hits, but yeah, and then practice. Just practice.
Yeah, so far the plan is I have books and hammers saved up right now. So I plan on busting out all of the levels on the pet house to get all the pets unlocked. And then also trying to use the rest of the stuff to get the monolith maxed out.
Well, when you go to 15, you get that little buy pack where you can get the monolith and the spell towers. You know, it's like I don't remember what the price, but I recommend buying that.
Yeah, I was just saying, I'll see what the price is and see.
I think it's like $50, honestly.
Ouch.
I don't think it's 50, is it?
It
It might be.
Rick's in the chat. He knows if
Yeah,
he's
Rick's
still
in the
awake.
chat. Before we go to the next topic, I don't know if we're done with that one, but just take your time with it and fuck walls. By the way, fuck walls. It doesn't matter. I'm a 15 with Town
Ghost,
Hall 13
did you
walls.
finish the walls at 14?
Actually, I just checked them. With 2 days left, I officially have 19 walls left.
Fuck them. Just leave
Fuck
them.
those 14 walls. God, they suck. Like the 14 I've got, which I think I'm gonna take to 15. I've been on the everything else is done. I've been on the wall grind for like 2 months now.
That's gonna be me with my 15. I'm on.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm upgrading 14
What do you
walls.
mean you on your 15? You've already upgraded. You're not waiting on anything.
No,
you're gonna do walls because it's gonna be the only thing left.
Yeah, facts. And a few pets, but yeah. Before we go to the next topic, I gotta take a Carl. By the way,
Yeah.
I told you, Ghostnite, it was gonna happen during the
You
podcast.
gotta do what?
I gotta take a Carl.
Take a K-boy.
Take a
K-pop.
Carl.
K-pop.
You guys ever sit down when you have to pee?
All the time.
Hell yeah, dude. I feel like I should
just don't be one of those odd people like when you walk into the bathroom and they're standing at the urinal and their pants and everything are all the way down at their ankles.
You're not supposed to do that.
What's wrong with that, dude?
No.
You want to see fresh ass when you walk in?
Not particularly.
As long as it's not spreading cheeks, who cares, man?
Yeah, ask you guys something.
You see the sheriff's badge, and it's a problem. Okay.
The balloon knot.
Yeah. Well, what's your question? Let's go.
Is it okay to wear, as a man, to wear flip-flops or open-toed sandals at the urinal?
Yes. If you're into that, I guess. I don't wear sandals because my feet are fucking ugly as shit. But yeah. As long as you don't do socks and sandals, it's good.
Ghostnite, what about you?
I'd say sandals are fine. I mean, you should have good enough aim you're not pissing on them.
Yeah,
if you stand close enough to the urinal, come on.
I used to think like, what's the big deal? And then someone a couple years ago was like, "Yeah, never wear sandals in a public restroom." Like, what? Why? Like, especially if it's crowded. Like, I don't care how close you are to that urinal, right? most of them, the way they're made, there's some splash. Okay,
Fuck,
doesn't
dude.
doesn't matter what's going on. And if you got a hard, if you really got to go, you got a solid stream going. Like there's gonna be some splashback, right? If you've got open-toed shoes in a men's bathroom at the urinal, you're getting pee on your toes, on your feet.
At least it's sterile.
And if it's crowded, like if there's someone occupying the urinal next to you, and it's not one of those that's like completely divided from floor to ceiling,
Yeah.
you're probably getting your neighbor's pee
Hey,
on your toes.
Well, I mean, it's sterile, so
So, listen, I know you might not like the look of socks and sandals, but quite frankly, it's more sanitary than going open toed.
you don't think the pee's gonna soak through the fucking socks and go to your feet?
All right, socks and sandals are out too.
Yeah, that's what I thought. At least with just bare feet, you can just get a wet nap or something, or a baby
But
wipe.
have you ever wiped down your feet after going to a men's restroom and
No,
used
I
the
wear
urinal?
fucking shoes. I don't
No.
wear sandals.
Yeah, I wear shoes too. Like I told my wife, I said I only wear sandals around the house. I got flip flops, like comfy. I wear them here. If I'm going out somewhere, like even if I'm renting like the gas station or something, I always put shoes on. But since you asked, do you sit down to pee? The answer to that question for me is at home, absolutely. Because I can't tell you how many times, like first thing in the morning, like you wake up, you've been asleep for 6-7 hours. What do you got to do, man? Got to
Yeah.
go drain the lizard, right? He's got to be freed. And sometimes if it's early enough in the morning, guys, you're not always paying super close attention. Sometimes, you don't know where the first stream's going to go, which direction, right? And it could be pointing one direction, but the stream could go shooting off to the right. Everyone here has seen Me, Myself, and Irene, right?
I was gonna mention that. He's in the fucking shower curtain wrapping himself. What happened?
Okay.
Fucking love.
So mistakes like that happen. Well, when you live with someone else, Adam, roommates, Ghostnite, family,
Or your woman. What's how you put it?
my woman,
My
right?
woman.
They can't find pee anywhere around the toilet or else it's an issue, right?
Yep.
There's one way at home to make sure that it never becomes an issue, no matter what. And that is, you know what? I don't care. I'm gonna sit down. I'm gonna sit down and pee.
And you don't have to worry about putting the toilet seat up. You just gotta sit down.
Never an
Boom.
issue. It's always down. Never get griped at for that. Never get griped at for the splash because you're sitting down. And then also, how many times have you gone to the bathroom to just pee and then immediately after been like, man, I might need to go back.
Gotta take a dump.
I don't think I was really finished. If you're already sitting, guess what, baby? You're ready to go.
Exactly. You're sitting there just.
Now there will be less thoughtful people out there that will claim that, oh, a guy sitting down to pee, that's feminine. I'm sorry, that's ignorant. Because for all those reasons we just stated, if you're a man and you just got to pee, especially if you're home,
and you have a woman, or roommates,
or anyone,
yeah.
quite
Just
frankly,
sit down.
even if you live by yourself and you don't have to spend extra time like cleaning the bathroom on days where you clean, you just sit down. Guess what? You don't have any splash outside the toilet. It's all in there.
Especially in
Sit
Adam's
down and
case,
pee.
if he's drunk, that way he can't miss.
Well, when I wake up in the next morning, usually I have to take a fat shit because the whiskey and everything, it comes out fast sometimes. So you got the shits. The mouth I drinks, I get the shits a lot. So you gotta just piss, shit as you're pissing. That's a good feeling, by the way. Yeah. And also, I share a bathroom with my nephew, so I don't really think he gives a shit. But yeah, and he's fucking in the second grade, so.
So you're the one avoiding his pee.
No, I've actually done anything. Like he's probably better than me at peeing in the toilet. Like if I'm drunk, sometimes I'll just have the seat down, and if I see some splatter, I have to wipe it down. Even when I'm drunk, like oh shit, I gotta wipe this down because I share a bathroom with my nephew. But yeah, dude, that kid, by the way, his sleep schedule, he'll go to bed at 8. Like, for example, my power went out the other night, and I streamed from my phone. He slept through all the thunder that shook the house, set off car alarms, broke trees, and woke up at 6. He gets more sleep than me. Anyway, let's get to the topics. We're talking about pee too much. I had another thing on my mind, but it's inappropriate for the podcast.
By the way, you remember earlier when we were saying that we were probably done hating Steve.
Yeah, you got more?
Like he paid his due. We can stop being nasty
You
to
got
him.
more?
Well, I was just reading. He was talking about
Grammar on PE?
shoplifting in the chat there. So I think we're gonna be back to hating him. Fuck Steve, fucking clown.
I love you,
Toolbag.
but fuck you. I had another subject, but I'm not gonna say that on the pod because we might get canceled for what I was gonna say. Next topic. Thoughts on some admins not knowing shit about Clash of Clans. Obviously, Big B, you know what Fatal's been sending in the chats about how they don't know shit about anything, and I had to update Ghostnite on that because he asked me if
Yeah.
he didn't know. I think it's fucking hilarious that the admins they pick for some of these tournaments don't know jack shit about Clash of Clans. Oh, can we do CWO while we do these tournaments? No, if you go in a war. It's like, dude, our clan games, you're a fucking idiot. You can still do friendly wars if you're in CWL. You can still do clan games if you're in a tournament. You guys are dumb. Learn the game or pick better fucking admins. I could be a better admin and I don't even it's easy as shit. You guys are dumb. It's stupid. How dumb what do they just pick random admins? Like, "Oh, you don't play this game. Let's pick you. You don't play this game. Let's pick you." It's stupid as shit. What do you guys think? Big B, I think you got something cooking.
Well, I'm wondering where they get the admins from.
Facts.
Off the side of the street.
Yeah, I guess.
Just some random Discord user like, "Here, you're gonna be an admin for this tournament. Good job."
And
They
like
just
they
put-
should.
So dumb.
There are people out there that would, I mean, even volunteer to do it that are competent.
Mhm.
Where
Right.
I don't know where they're picking them from, and like I get it, especially when it's around tournaments, like the community ones. Like those are people who organize the tournament, right? So
Yeah.
if they don't know something, like they're not official Supercell employees, so whatever it is. But when it's the Supercell sponsored World Finals qualifier,
Right.
like
Get people that know the fucking game.
this is the thing too. Like they're now now that
Yeah.
that we're aware of all of like podcasts and all the content creators stuff like that, like there are all these people out there putting out tons of information, doing all this work, who know the
Right.
game.
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I mean, you can't tell me that you can't find people that don't know. Well, 1 million players in this game, and most of them know way more than the admins for this. What?
It's sad.
Where do they find these people?
I feel like even like newer people know that shit. What about you, Ghost Knight? Can we see the kitty, by the way? Let's see the kitty.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that kitty. It's so cute. I love cats. I don't have a cat, but I'll love to get one eventually. But what do you think about the admins not knowing jack shit, especially for the
Definitely.
world?
If they're, I would say, if they're sponsoring such like a big event, you at least have to have someone that knows something about your game. You're not just putting a bunch of random names in a tumbler and I guess you get admin controls.
Right. So let me update you, Ghost Knight. So the last one Fiddle sent me. I'm gonna try my best to word it. Actually, I can pull up my phone. But he sent a screenshot of someone asking the admin, and I want to try my best to get it right for the podcast and for your answer. Give me a second. Let me scroll up on Discord because so many people are fucking on Discord now. So this person says, May we played Clan Capital along with World Championships. The admin says, if you get into wars, you will not be able to search for opponents. The person replied, does Clan Capital mean any wars? The admin said, yes. So clearly, the admin doesn't know shit.
I mean, I don't know. Have we tested that? Has anyone who's done their capital raids already? Are they
you get a wartime
able to
It's
participate in wars? I don't know. Maybe.
it's just that little shit. It's like that proved that screenshot proves like
Better to
as
stop
you
friendly challenging people in your clan. You're not gonna be able to war.
yeah because friendly challenges get you timers. It's just so
Mhm.
funny how dumb, especially for worlds. I feel like they have a hat with just random people that on Discord and just pick them like, oh, this guy hasn't never played Clash. Let's make him admin. They're dumb as shit. Do some research. Go on YouTube. Watch a fucking Twitch stream when people do friendly wars. You should fucking know this. Y'all are trash. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I
What about
don't
you,
like.
buddy?
I hear all the time, like every time Darren does an interview, right? He's always talking about all of the analytics they do in the game. Like they've
Yeah.
got metrics for everything, like how long people are on, what they're doing in the game, and there's some data point for just about everything, and they use that in the game. How can they be so into like the intelligence of the game, and then have people out there coordinating stuff for them that just don't know the basics? I wonder sometimes if it's the analysis paralysis. Like they've spent so much time focusing on parts of the game that are just monetary drivers, things that like, how do we balance the economy? How do we, some of it's gameplay, but most of it is
Right.
how are we going to
Mhm.
continue running a successful, profitable money making business out of this game. That they've lost some touch with how the game's actually played, or who needs to be the main point of contact for communicating with the community on big events like this.
And
Sometimes it's the basic things that go away when you
yeah.
get too lost in the weeds.
Would be
And
kind of nice to have Darian like be the person for it,
well,
just because he knows.
finish your talk.
And,
Sorry.
and he would be a good one just because he's legitimately think he's good with the
Mhm.
community.
Yeah.
He's also mentioned before though that there are other community managers that work like basically they have the same job title as him. He's just the one that his job as a community manager is to kind of be the face and the voice out there.
Yeah.
And I think that's he enjoys that. But okay, answering questions like this for a community tournament, can't one of the other community managers do that? Like they might not be as social as Darren, and they might not speak publicly as well as he does. But you think they could type responses to
Right.
questions?
Or my thought was maybe they should hit up like a big streamer like Eric or Itsu or whatever, say, hey, what mod should we get for world or admin should we get for worlds that know the game instead of picking random people that don't know shit. Like you guys have so many things and so many people who can say give you pointers, but no, you pick random people who don't know shit about the game.
I have an idea.
Oh, let's go. What you got?
Why don't they just hire Fatal to be the admin?
Oh yeah,
Legit.
work remote. He can work remotely. You don't gotta have a passport. Let's go.
Yeah, don't fucking go to
Yeah.
Helsinki.
We'll just get a picture for him so he doesn't have to show his face.
Nah, that's
Nah.
good. No,
Fatal
I
doesn't
like.
need to show his face or talk. I love the mystery behind Fatal,
Well,
but
that's what I was saying. We'll get like just like some random icon for him so he doesn't have to show.
Oh, we'll get a
oh, okay, I got
generic
you.
profile
Okay.
picture.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. It's just like AI generates a picture for him, huh?
The mystery man.
Yeah. How
Oh my
about we
gosh,
just he could just be like the Riddler, right? Just from Batman, just with a big question mark over him. No one knows who he is. He just types.
Get him a
Make a
good
new
voice
account.
changer so
all right, Adams.
No, no.
I just gotta say this because I just
What's up?
re-listened to our episode that we
Uh-huh.
did on C2J because I had my wife finish listening to it. You're a little over obsessed with Batman villains. Okay, I just
I
gotta
fucking
say
love
that.
Batman, dude.
I know Batman, but like the villains, like
Okay, yeah. Can I give a little? You want me to give a little subtext on that? I'll use the big word. Subtext is a big word for me.
I mean, I think as a reward for you using that word.
Yeah. I love the villains, man. Uh, if I ever got into acting, I do want to do some short films and not big acting, but I always want to be like a serial killer or a villain, just because I feel like I'd be the perfect
Did you hear that, Ghostnite? He said he always wanted to be a serial killer.
I did.
Yeah, I meant.
So this is both a Clash of Clans and a true crime podcast,
Yeah.
actually.
So if you ever see my face on the news, you know why.
Oh boy.
All right, let's go to
boy.
this last Clash of Clans topic that I came up with. That the C2J, I gave it to Carl. See how it went. They said it was a good topic, so we're gonna do it on our podcast because fuck it, it's my topic. All right. So what if Builder Base had a CC? What do you guys think about that? Love the awkward silence.
Yeah, I had to think about it for a second, but
No,
I don't
I
know how
updated you on this
cool.
before. What
I
do
know,
you mean?
I know. I still had to think though. Like I didn't give it much thought, but I, I I just don't see how they would incorporate it into it.
Well-
just because you don't like
Well-
necessarily, I guess, build troops they're just there. They might as well just give you a couple more slots if that's the
No,
case.
like it'd be the same thing as Builder Base now. Like
Mhm.
whatever survives goes to the next stage. So
Yeah.
say you triple the first stage without using it, the second stage you get a little more boost update with the CC on the second stage. And then it's not gonna be like main village where you have so much capacity. It's gonna be like downgraded, obviously, for Builder Base. But the C2J podcast made a good thing about it. Like maybe they're
So
just
would
gonna
you say,
test.
like, based on your clan level, would you say, oh, you get one extra reinforcement slot or two, depending on what your clan
I would
level
say
is?
2. I would say 2. You get like 2 extra troops and maybe not even a siege machine, just boom, you get 2 extra troops. You 3-star the first one, or maybe you're close to it, you drop it, they survive, you goes on to the next one. You don't have another thing to drop, but you still have those extra troops.
I could see that you could make them as a an extra reinforcement slide just for hitting a certain clan level.
Okay. What about you, Big B? No. Again, this topic came to me when I was drunk, so I don't know if it's good or not.
Oh, unlike all the other topics
Yeah.
that come to you when you're stone sober, right?
I don't get topics when I'm stoned, so
Oh.
you know this.
CC, so would this be something that your clanmates would have to donate?
I would say no.
If no, then it's just more troops. It's just more
Yeah.
troop space.
Okay, then yes, I guess.
And
Sure,
it's just,
let's
but
do that.
it's just any other builder. So your housing space for that would have to be at least as big as like another army camp, because some of the builder-based troops, like it's one
Yeah.
for that space. In fact, most of them are like that.
I think so.
So it would just be an extra army camp, but that particular troop would be donated to you.
That's why I was thinking of, like, if your clan, hit level 10, you get an extra reinforcements for that second attack because you already have that reinforcement camp.
Okay.
Something like that. Maybe.
I was just thinking something to make Builder
That's
Base
the only
a
way
little
I
more
could see
variable.
that they incorporate that in.
Like you won't get a siege machine, obviously, because that's main
Oh,
village.
no.
What? Okay. Idea though.
Okay.
CC donated troops
Uh-huh.
didn't deploy until your battle machine or your
Oh.
robocopter died.
Okay. So it'd be like locked until the I like that. That's a good point.
Kind of
Would you
like
say,
a
wherever
siege
it died,
machine
they're
on the
coming
main.
out there?
Yeah.
I like that.
So if you lost your battle machine, like that's when those troops would come out.
Ooh, okay.
And if you didn't, I mean, then you just carry them over to the next hit.
I can get with that.
So here's
But they almost they're like your hero, but then they're also like
But
your
they're-
siege machine.
yeah, they're like backup. Yeah. I like that idea, Big.
Think about it; they're already machines, right?
Yeah.
It's not.
Mhm.
So,
So-
I mean, you could theoretically have passengers in the robocopter.
Yeah. So as soon as it
Is that what
dies,
it's called?
those troops you have in the CC come out of the robocopter like it's a backup. Yeah. All right, Supercell, if you come up with this idea, you owe the Clashuals some money.
Or
Oh,
You know how you can trigger the special ability with the battle machine
I see.
with the
Yeah.
robocopter?
Uh-huh.
What if that's just another option? Like at a certain point,
Yes,
instead of
let's
triggering ability,
go.
trigger the CC troops out of it.
Yeah, you can pick. Oh, I love it. When you click on it, it'll give you like ability, and you gotta think fast. But I like that. It
So
can
if
just
you're
shoot
if
troops
you're
out.
in the battle machine and you get over to where the stupid the clan hut where all the troops are and it takes forever to kill them, you put a whole bunch of raged barbs inside there and then deploy them, and then they kill those troops.
Yes. Let's go. Okay, I like that. I like that.
Same.
That's a great point of view. Right, Supercell. Just saying.
Yeah,
Again,
that's what. Don't knock the awkward signs because sometimes that's when I'm
yeah,
coming up with my best
right.
ideas. All
It's
right.
just I knock it so I don't have to edit it out. Okay, like Carl. Okay.
So, for
Oh,
instance, though,
Oh,
right now,
yes,
say
sir.
like you're using your battle copter for your first attack,
Yeah.
and then it dies. You can still use your battle machine for your second attack. What?
Mhm.
How? Like, would you still be able to get the use your second hero for your second attack?
I think that if you lost your battle machine or the copter, if you lost it before the end of attack, I do think the punishment for that would be the CC troops
Deploys automatically.
deployed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you hadn't already released them,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
But if it makes it all the way through the first attack, then you carry them into the second one, and then same thing. You can choose to deploy them once the ability is triggered and ready,
Mm-hmm.
or hold on to them until the thing dies, and then they'll deploy.
But if they're like already deployed, you know, would you be able to use your other builder hut hero on your second attack like you can currently?
Yeah, it would just be
Would be
empty.
with
Wouldn't have
no
any troops
CC.
in it.
Yeah. Okay.
I like that point of view.
Yeah,
Supercell's
yeah.
gonna owe us money if they do that shit.
No shit, guys. I think we just came up with something
Right?
legitimate here.
Exactly.
This might be
Better
the
than
best. This might be
we
the
came up
best idea we've ever had.
we came
Someone
up with
better
a
clip this.
we don't gotta
Yeah,
clip it, it's recorded. It's gonna be on YouTube and on the
yeah.
podcast forever.
The whole they're gonna have to listen to the whole first hour and 20 minutes to get to the good stuff,
Right?
including the
Supercell.
bathroom break that Adams is not gonna edit out.
I'll edit it out. I probably won't. I'm just saying if Supercell does do this, they're gonna owe the Clashuals some money.
No,
Just
they're
saying.
not.
What do you mean? No, they're
You
not.
get
They keep
100
on
gems.
They're gonna be like, "Oh, we already had that idea. We've already thought about that."
bullshit. Bullshit. I'll be like, show me the documents dated before we did this podcast.
Show me
Anyway,
the money.
so we only have two not Clash related topics, which Ghostnite came up with one of them.
And we've already made it 20 minutes longer than the well, okay, but this is Ghost Knight's first episode ever.
Yeah.
So,
Mm-hmm.
never mind.
Anyway, first non-top top Clash. Jesus Christ, if I could talk. First topic is bone-in or boneless chicken wings. Wow. I'm gonna say my point of view right now because if you eat boneless chicken wings, it's basically you eating a fucking chicken nugget. That's not chicken wings. Get over yourselves. Oh, I don't like having the bone in. Then you're eating fucking chicken nuggets. That's where it's at. So I love bone in. Just that's a chicken wing. Boneless is stupid as shit. If you order boneless, you're getting a fucking thing of meat. That's all you're doing. It's not even off the chicken. It's probably fake. So I say bone all the way because that's a real chicken wing. What about you guys?
I'm gonna have to also agree bone in.
Facts.
If I'm at a restaurant, I'm always getting bone in. Let's face it, the boneless ones, like you said, they're adult nuggets. That's
Exactly.
about it. But I mean, even at home, if I'm grilling and I want buffalo like chicken wings, and I don't necessarily have wings, I'll just do buffalo chicken legs on the grill.
Facts. What about you, Big B? How you feel about that?
Oh, I never give simple answers, especially when it comes to food, because as I've mentioned before, when we were talking about drinks the other night, like, oh, what's the one drink you'd have? Like, my favorite drink is, the one I haven't had in a while because I like variety.
Yeah.
And yeah, when it comes to food, I like a whole lot of it. There's not a whole lot I don't like. So as far as preference, I can answer that with a whole big. It depends, because there are some places where, yes, bone-in wings, absolutely. This might be weird because no one's gonna believe me,
Okay.
but people always say no one goes to Hooters for wings. However,
Never
the
been, by the way.
the breaded buffalo wings at Hooters are one of my all-time favorites.
I'm gonna have to go.
They're different, right? Because
Yeah.
like the breaded ones, it's almost like a heavier batter on them,
Uh-huh.
so they're unique. But I can even go really, really hot. Like I can go like the 3 Mile Island on those, and they're still good.
That is my favorite.
Yeah, and no, what's the one past that's like the Bentley or something like that. Like you can get too much spice on them, but those bone in, really, really good. However, there's
Ghost Knight, you have
a
background, by the way.
do what?
Ghost Knight, I can hear your voice through Ghost Knight's thing. So yeah, it's just turn down his web or his
Yep.
headset. Sorry, Big P.
Edit that out, Adams.
I
I'm in the middle of talking wings here.
got you.
There's a chicken wing establishment in North Texas. I don't know if they have them everywhere else. It's called Pluckers, and Pluckers, they do really, really good wings. But normally, if you order boneless style wings, like they're like they said in chat, it's like a chicken nugget size, right? Like it's a little piece of chicken, and it's done up the same way the wings were, but it's just boneless. The boneless wings at Pluckers are huge. They're more like chicken tenders, I guess. They're that size, but they're sold as boneless wings, and they're incredible. But because of the size, because of the amount of meat you get for the value there, I mean, I don't turn it down because it's like, hey, look, there's more meat for less dollars. Like,
Facts.
big fan of meat over here. So it depends. If you're one of the chain restaurants like Buffalo Wild Wings, Wingstop, I will say this: there's some flavors that go better. I think boneless. If you're gonna get like a garlic parmesan flavor wing, I usually think those go better boneless. In fact, that's Buffalo Wild Wings. That flavor at Buffalo Wild Wings, I think, is actually really, really good. Even though it can be really strong. But if you're getting like buffalo flavor hot, that usually needs to be in a bone-in wing. I'll say the one thing that will turn me off from bone-in buffalo wings, but it's when the wings are so hot that the bone inside of it is still hot. Especially when it comes down, like if you're not doing the drumstick, if you're doing the actual wing side, I've got a very specific method of deboning the wing, right? Which involves touching the bone. If it's scorching hot and I burn my fingers, then I'm gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be pissed if there's a bone in there at all.
Right.
Right. So I don't want them cold, right? I don't want them to be hot and everything, right? But if they're so hot that the bone, touching the bone inside of it, it's gonna burn my hand, done too much. Okay. Or at least you need to let them cool off before you serve them to me. So that's one caveat. It depends, basically. I can do both. And yeah, for those who are saying like it's basically you're arguing nuggets versus boneless wings, fine. Whatever. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, if it's boneless wings, it's not good chicken. Yeah, it is. It honestly depends on what you're flavoring it with.
It's still good chicken. It's just when it's a wing, basically, if you have a bone in, it's a wing. If you bone out, it's basically a glorified chicken nugget.
I will say one positive, I guess, about the boneless is that you don't have to really necessarily worry about them being raw. Because, I mean, when I first moved to where I'm living now, I went to the local Hooters here and I got served raw chicken. I was pissed.
Oh,
I'm not saying that Hooters always does a good job of cooking them.
Yeah, no.
Or heating them up.
Right.
But if you can, but It's the batter and the
Mhm.
sauce that they use. Like that combination on their style wings,
Mhm.
I think. Well, I mean, my personal preference. And I get it. That's not everyone. There's
Yeah.
probably gonna. I think TJ's already said nah on the Hooters wings. Like, okay, clearly TJ, you're going to Hooters for something else. I get it.
Titties.
That's fine. Yeah, those titties. But for me, I legitimately I like the wings when they're done, when they're not
Yeah.
cold.
I've
Yeah.
never been to
I've
Hooters.
gotten them before where they weren't all the way done too. They probably needed to microwave them a little bit longer. But
Oh yeah, no. Like I bit into it and it was still like that rubbery texture. Like it was not cooked
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
much at all. Yeah.
That's when you give them
I
a
mean,
bad Yelp review.
at least they took that one off my meal and cooked me a fresh new batch.
It's
Oh.
dim titties at Hooters, as TJ said. All right. Yeah. I think it just like Big B said, depends where you go, but I always go with bone in regardless. I think
I
it's
mean,
just
that is
meat.
where the our local college girls work.
Oh yeah, you got to see them titties. All right. Last question. Do you guys want to take questions from the live stream like we did last time?
questions from the audience. Oh,
Okay.
wait, that's
This one
different
I
context.
came up with. If you had to pick one movie to watch for the rest of your life, what would it be? You don't have to say why. Just I already know mine. I think you guys need a little minute, maybe, because I kind of hit you guys with it.
Mhm.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
If it's the same movie or like storyline, but it's actually done across multiple
Oh, okay.
movies, but it's all the same story,
It still counts.
still counts.
Yeah.
So, like, I could hypothetically say The Lord of the Rings, and
Yeah.
that's all three of the movies because it's
Yeah.
one continuous story, right?
Because you get all three. You get the 1, 2, and 3 because it's the same story.
Yes.
But are you gonna do the long versions or just the regular version?
I
You can't
mean,
do the long.
if we're talking like real life scenarios, I mean, I own the extended versions. So if
Yeah.
we're
Me
actually
too.
going to do this and I'm just going to watch one movie the rest of my life, I've already got it.
Yeah. Same. I have it. Yeah.
Okay. Another question, right? So in that,
Mhm.
since you said yes to that, okay, with some pressure on you. Since you said yes to that,
No pressure.
theoretically, wouldn't the entire Marvel storyline for the Avengers saga, or at least for like the first all the way up through Endgame, wouldn't that technically be all one storyline as
No.
well?
No.
And if I said I wanted the one movie that I watched to be the Avengers and its storyline, I mean, then I'm talking like 25, 30 movies.
No.
I think because they all move towards the exact same storylines, the exact same ending. So
No. You can't.
why
You,
not?
you can't do that because they're different.
Why not? I
Because
mean,
they're all late. They're just got Avengers Endgame. You got Avengers Infinity. Blah blah blah. You can't. You can only pick. When it comes to Marvel, you can't say that because it's all different storylines. It's not the same as Lord of the Rings.
but they all come together.
That doesn't fucking matter. But it's not the
It's
same
all
story.
storylines that come together. There's different
It's
storylines
not
in
like
Lord of
Lord
the
of the
Rings.
Rings.
There's like Frodo is his
Yeah,
own
but they're all
movie,
in the same movie.
and then Legolas and Gimli, they're their own movie.
By the way, you wanna hear a little Lord of the Rings lore? Frodo never knows Legolas's name because he only says in the beginning, the first film, he says, "You can have my sword." He never knows his name. He knows Gimli
I think
and
he
the other
says
dude.
his bow. He can have his
Arbo,
bow.
yeah, his bow, yeah, but he never knows his true name. You never hear him say Legolas in the movies, by the way. So what movie would it be, Big B? You can't pick the Marvel movies. We already discussed it. It's not the same as Lord of the Rings. You can't.
Okay, what if I just said like the Avengers and it was just the Avengers movies?
No,
No. So
no.
if I said like Star Wars, I couldn't do like episodes 1 through 9, even though it's all
You'd have to do 1
continuous.
through 6. You can't do 1 through 9 because 9 is bullshit or 8 is bullshit.
It's all I know. I mean, not all is good, but it's all the same story.
Okay, technically, but I'm talking about 1 movie, okay? Lord of the Rings is an exception, the other ones do not count. You want me to go first? How about Ghostnite?
Yeah, you go first. I'm thinking on all these
Yeah,
like
think,
other
yeah.
stipulations you've made
I
to
mean,
it.
you implanted the other symptom.
No,
What
I
about-
asked for clarification, then you
Yeah.
created them.
All right, Ghost now. What do you got?
Well, I'm a rom-com man.
Okay.
I'll just admit it.
Oh,
And
you're
I
yeah.
love Adam Sandler, so I'm gonna have to go with like 50 First Dates, just
What?
because, just the message kind of behind it. It's just like enjoy
Okay.
like your life every day.
So Ghost Knight, you're gonna pick.
That's too wholesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
too
That's
wholesome.
too wholesome for the
Too
casuals. Okay.
wholesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Hold
Yep.
on. You're gonna pick 50 First Dates over Happy Gilmore, Happy Madison,
You
or
know,
Madison, whatever one he goes back to school in. Come on,
those
dude.
ones are pure comedy, man.
Dude, Happy Gilmore? Come on, dude. He's a hockey dude and goes to fucking dumbass golf. Come on, dude. It's so great. Sitting there getting fucking baseballs thrown at him so he can make the next one. Come on. 50 First Dates. That's your pick though.
Listen, picking 50 First Dates over Happy Madison,
Happy Matt. Yeah.
Happy Madison Productions, Happy Gilmore the movie.
Yeah.
There's really only one thing to say to that.
Trash. Right? Exactly. Like, come on, dude. Out of all the Adam Sandler movies, you pick fucking 50 First Dates. It's a great movie, but you
Yeah.
want to watch that for the rest of your life if
Do you now tell me truthfully, Ghost Knight? Do you carry a little bit of a torch for Drew Barrymore? I get it if you do. I mean, she's not everyone's cup of tea, but
I
stranger
mean she
things have
wasn't
happened.
Firestarter, so
Uh,
tell us the truth. I see that
if
smile. I
if
know.
if I had to pick, I
Yeah.
could pick a couple better actresses, but
Oh, okay.
But
she's
But
not like horrible looking.
okay, all right.
Mad Fucker. So that's your pick. You're gonna pick 50 First Dates
Yeah.
out of all the Adam Sandler movies.
Hey, stop second. What's your pick, Adams? Mr.
Oh,
Naysayer, always
my pick,
second guessing.
my pick's my all-time favorite movie. It's Shawshank Redemption. I can rewatch that movie over and 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 over.
I thought you were about to say the Drake Knight.
No. Fucking Doug Knight says Batman. No, it's Shawshank Redemption. That's my all-time favorite movie. I can rewatch it regardless.
Ghost Knight, do you know why that's his favorite movie?
No, why?
Like,
I don't think Big B knows.
getting bootied in the shower.
He doesn't get booted in the shower. He fights against getting raped, by the way.
Don't drop the soap.
Who dropped the soup?
Clash fan.
Who dropped the soup?
Anyway, Big B, you got your question, or should I just keep rambling on until you have a decision?
I mean, so essentially what you guys have done is the one movie you're watch over and over again is your favorite movie.
It can either be
So-
your favorite or one you haven't watched in a while, but you still enjoy.
Yeah, but if I'm gonna watch it over and over again, then that
Yeah.
then that part of it's gonna go away because I'm gonna watch it all the fucking time.
Okay, so yeah, you're the one that came up with the questions, like, oh, Lord of the Rings.
What do you mean? I didn't come up with the question.
No, you went.
I was just trying to specify.
I do
Yeah,
think
yeah.
like if you're gonna watch it over and over again, a longer one
Mm-hmm.
is probably gonna be better because you're not gonna see the same stuff
Yeah.
as frequently. So given the the fact that you've allowed for the Lord of the Rings trilogy to be one continuous one, I would probably say that because even with the extended version, that's like what 15, 16 hours beginning and end, maybe.
I think each one is like 3 hours long. So 3, 6,
So about
like
10 hours,
12, 9 or
right?
12. I don't.
So yeah, they're
So
decently long.
at most, I'm seeing everything 2 or 3 times a day.
Okay.
As opposed to if it's a hour and a half long movie, right?
Yeah.
You're seeing the same stuff 7, 8 times a day, at least. And that's
True.
if you get to go to sleep afterwards. If you got to stay awake, if you're forced to stay awake and keep watching it 20 times a day.
Yeah.
How many times you gonna look at that Drew Barrymore crooked smile? And then all of a sudden you'll be like, you know what? She's actually not that attractive. I don't like her anymore. I'm
Yeah,
tired.
see?
I'm tired of her attitude. I'm tired of the fact that she keeps forgetting everything. That's getting on my nerves now. I'm ready to see her start remembering stuff. Can't we move on?
You should have picked Happy Gilmore. The teacher's hot as fuck. Okay.
I will say this though: there are a couple of ones that were thrown out in the chat that I think are good honorable mentions. Um, I think TJ said Tombstone,
Oh, that's a
which
great
is
one.
a really,
Yeah.
really good one. In fact, my stepson had never seen it before, and we watched it. I think like 2 weeks ago. It was the first time he ever watched it, and he's 11, but he was in love with it. He's like, it's great. I actually have. You can't see it, but behind my computer here, I have a poster on my wall that is from the set of Tombstone. It wasn't when they were actually filming, but it was for
Mhm.
some. It was from some anniversary thing they did. I
Ooh,
went to
okay.
Tombstone, Arizona, a couple of years ago. My sister-in-law and brother-in-law used to live in Arizona, in Tucson, which is not far from Tombstone. And they actually got this for me while they were out there, so it's hanging on the wall behind. So
That's
Tombstone,
pretty cool.
I'm all in on that as an idea. I saw Duck also said Batman and Super Troopers, which are both really, really good picks.
Yeah, but what
Super
Batman?
Troopers is one of my favorite quotable movies of all
Facts.
time. There's so many good lines in it.
You just said Batman, so that's a big variety.
Yeah, and Batman's good too.
Yeah. All right. I think we hit to the point where we're at an hour and 42 minutes. Do we really want to get questions from live stream? It's up to you guys.
I don't know. I don't think they're gonna be asking me questions anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't want to
So
sit around and wait for it.
we're gonna send it off. Thank you all for watching the Clashuals podcast on Spotify or on YouTube or even on the live stream. Thank you all. Thank you. A special shout out to Ghostnite, and also before we end it, I want to make a big shout out to the C2J podcast and Reddit Talks Clash because they're OP. If you haven't listened to them, go give them a listen. And thank you all for listening.
Can I say something in closing too?
Yeah, go ahead.
Since you're closing so abruptly. Ghost Knight, thank you for coming back for your first ever recorded episode of
First
a
OP.
Clashuals podcast ever of all time, ever anywhere in any way, shape, or form.
It probably won't
So
be edited.
so congratulations and thank you for coming. Had a lot of fun doing it. Hope you did too.
Yeah,
And
it was a lot of
along
fun.
with our brethren over at the C2J podcast and the Reddit Talks Clash podcast. I know we talk a lot of shit about Carl and Rick, but they're good dudes and they have good podcasts. But they're not the only Clash podcasts out there. So if you're not sure what else is out there, search it up, listen. There's some good ones.
There's a lot.
Trample Damage, who helped our buddy CF9 here get 5,000 viewers on Twitch just by allowing him to add his name to the title of his
Right?
stream. He's got a really good podcast out there. Carl's old co-host C Note does one called Clash Tours, which is really good as well. C Note and Trample actually did kind of, they did what we did and
Yep.
kind of joined each other's podcast. And they did a casual style podcast, and that it was 2+ hours long.
Ooh.
And I listened to it while I was in the car for 8 hours the other day, and I had to send him a message because it was so good. I was so impressed
It
with
was
what they
a
did.
great episode.
Yeah. And those guys going back and forth, and they kept talking about how alike they are, and they are in some respects. But I mean, we talk for 2 hours often, but we also we venture off on other stuff.
Right.
Those guys can go hardcore about Clash, and Trample does more stuff about the numbers and how to play. Like, if you want to learn, like if you're not just in it for the entertainment, you actually want to learn and not be bored to tears about it. Listen to Trample because he's got everything going.
Facts.
And then I just got to say this too, because we are in the very, very beginning stages of planning this Pod Wars idea that we've been talking about forever.
Yep.
And now we're starting to get shade for not being further along and procrastinating, which I'm not saying we won't enjoy getting shade for that, but we will plan it eventually. But also, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Pineapples and Thorns podcast, which is another really good one out there. And they have really good guests too. Like they went out and got Darian on their podcast. They went out and got Itsu on their podcast. Like, I love what we do.
Yeah.
We drop too many F-bombs for those guys to come and play with us. But Pineapples and Thorns, Cat and Fato, they are respectful enough to get those kind of people. So they do really good stuff. all that to say, if you're not listening to Clash podcasts, you absolutely should. There's some really good ones out there. Not all of them are as adult themed as we are. There's some, if you want to listen to it while you got kids in the car, there's some of those safe ones out there too. Look them up, search them, find them. But the Clash podcast community is phenomenal.
Well, I'll say something. I think we could get them as guests because it'll give them more freedom to drop the F-bomb and cuss. They go on those other ones, they can't. We have the.
Arian's not going to come on and cuss. Adams.
I mean, that'd be sick. It would be. It'd be awesome to hear him drop that.
It'd be sick if he came on and was like, fuck the haters.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyone
right?
who's criticizing me at my job, fuck you.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
Mic drop.
But again,
Mic
thank you,
drop.
Ghostnite, for joining in.
Job
And
drop.
I hope you have a great Town Hall 15 experience, and I hope you be on the pod again.
Yeah.
We try to get more guests as possible on this podcast. But thank you all for listening. I'm in the recording. Unless you guys got anything else to say. Nope.
I think I've said plenty. Ghost, would you like to send us off? Would you like to
Yeah, you want to
say
send
the
us off,
final
Ghost?
goodbye?
Let's go.
Would you like us to put you on the spot one last time?
Come on, Ghost.
Oh, thanks.
One last time. Let's go.
Everyone have a good night.
All right.
Oh, that's awesome.
All right. Thank you all for watching on Spotify, wherever you listen, and come catch us live on Twitch. It'll be fun. All right. Deuces.